All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode number 33 of our Madden 25 Connected Franchise Owner Mode Fantasy Draft YouTube Buffalo Bills series. Yeah, we are at our bye week today, folks. Bye week. We are sitting at 11-0 in the standings, and I just realized this. This is something to be truly proud of, but with 5 games left in the year, we have clinched the AFC East. What? That's the crowd going wild, in case you didn't know. That's right. 5 games left in the year. We have already clinched the AFC East. The next best teams in our division are the Patriots and Dolphins, sitting at 4 and 6. Each of them, respectively, 4 and 6, meaning that they can't, even if they win out, the best they could do is 10 and 6, meaning that even if we drop all of our remaining games, we still finish first, which is pretty phenomenal. So now that we have finished first in our division, our next thing that we're going to check out is the league standings. We are going to be able to do that. You'd think it would be under league. First of all, actually, let's do this. Let's check out the awards, because weekly awards, I don't think we've won anything of late. I always promise to upgrade you guys on whether or not we do win anything, and sure enough, we haven't won anything since I told you about week 7 when Ronnie Brown had his 4-touchdown performance. But I will give you an upgrade on the yearly awards. I haven't checked this stuff out in a couple weeks. Last we saw, and there you go, Aaron Rodgers is still in first place. I think he was in first place and Ronnie Brown was in second place last time we checked this stuff. But just in case that wasn't the case, it is now. They are the only Bills on the list. Hopefully we can hold on to that spot. Aaron Rodgers, like, looking at the league MVP, he is looking at it anyways. It's setting a record from best completion percentage in a season, and a 17-4 touchdown interception ratio is phenomenal. Tom Brady is sitting in third, Jamal Charles in fourth, and Jay Cutler in fifth. So we'll see how the rest of the season transpires, see what goes on. Coach of the Year, Doug Marrone. How could it not be Doug Marrone? He is in his first year of head coaching, going undefeated in the National Football League, which is pretty outstanding. And then interesting, those are the only... here we go. So those are the only NFL awards. Then in the AFC Offensive Player of the Year. And are there not NFL awards for this? Okay, I guess they're not differentiating NFL and NFC and AFC. Okay, so in the AFC, we're starting off with Offensive Player of the Year. Right now it's Jamal Charles of the Tennessee Titans. Next is Ronnie Brown. So we are sitting second in that regard. Ronnie Brown is the only one. So interesting that... and Aaron Rodgers is sitting fifth. I apologize. I missed that. Aaron Rodgers is sitting fifth. Ronnie Brown's second, but so far Charles is leading the way. Defensive Player of the Year, we do not have anybody on the list. Leading the way is David Hawthorne of the Indianapolis Colts, followed by Von Miller of the Steelers and Sean Witherspoon of the Raiders. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we do not appear to have anyone on this list either. Geno Smith is leading the way with the Jags. DeAndre Hopkins of the Colts and DC Jefferson of the Chargers are leading the way there. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we do not have anybody, which is surprising to me. Bostic only has 30 tackles on the year, but he does have a pick, a couple of, I think it's 4 tackles for a loss, and Shamarko Thomas, the rookie free safety, has also done well. He has almost 30 tackles. Surprised they're not even mentioned in the top 10, but it happens, I suppose. In the AFC, top quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, and this fascinates me. Aaron Rodgers is not on this list. I don't even begin to understand that. Aaron Rodgers is leading the way in the MVP conversation. He's apparently the 5th best offensive player of the year, but he's not even mentioned on the quarterback list. I don't see how that's possible. Ronnie Brown, as in the Offensive Player of the Year award, he's one behind Jamar Charles for the best running back award. Wide receiver-wise, we do not have anybody in the running. Offensive line, we have the top 3 guys. Ben Grubbs, Michael Roos, and Luis Vasquez are leading the way, 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, Marcus Gilbert, the right tackle, is sitting in 7th. Eric Wood is the only starting offensive lineman for us who's not on the list. Defensive line-wise, we have Rob Ninkovich sitting in 5th. He's the only Bill on the list. Julius Peppers of the Dolphins, J.J. Watt of the Texans, and Jonathan Babineau of the Jags are sitting 1, 2, 3. DB-wise, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie and Vontae Davis are sitting 8th and 9th, respectively. Darrelle Revis of the Jags, Devin McCourty of the Jags, and Earl Thomas of the Titans are leading the way way. And then kicker, Greg Zuerlein is leading the way with Garrett Hartley and Matt Bryant of the Raiders and Titans, respectively, sitting behind. So that is an update on our yearly awards situation and the Pro Bowl awards. Let's take a look at this Pro Bowl voting. Again, no mention of Aaron Rodgers in the quarterback discussion. Interesting. Ronnie Brown is the second of three running backs as of right now. No fullbacks or wide receivers for us on the list. Fortunately for us, Heath Miller is still on the list. He has fallen, though. He was the second tight end the last time we were here, but he's fallen behind Tony Gonzalez and Jason Witten. Michael Roos, Ben Grubbs, Eric Wood, Luis Vasquez, and Marcus Gilbert are all sitting on the list, as is Johnny Culbreath. Johnny Culbreath is literally yet to get into a game this year. I have no idea why Johnny Culbreath is on this list. That would be bizarre, to say the least. I'm surprised Rob Ninkovich is not on the list of defensive ends. He's got 9 sacks in just 11 games. Vince Wilfork, though, is sitting in the third spot for defensive tackles. We do not have any linebackers on the list or DBs. Kind of surprising for me to not see Vontae Davis on that list, but the the voters want what the voters want, I suppose. Fortunately for us, whoever makes the Pro Bowl has no impact on what really matters, which is, of course, the Super Bowl, not the Pro Bowl. And take a look at this. We have a little Y beside our name. I imagine that means that we've just clinched our division, which we did realize already. We have not clinched the overall AFC. We could be caught by any of the Titans, Chargers, Raiders, and Jags at this point. We could even be caught technically by the Ravens, Texans, Chiefs, and Steelers. Now, we have beat, I think, at least, I don't think we've played the Texans. We've definitely played the Ravens. We've definitely played the Steelers, and I think we've played the Chiefs. So actually, I don't think those 3 teams could pass it, but the Texans could. So we have not clinched the division yet, and it'll be a while. The Titans are only 1.5 games behind us at this point, so they could still catch us. We do have the best overall record, of course, in the NFL. The Titans actually have the second best. The 2 top records in the entire league, both found in the AFC. Obviously, us, the 11-0 Bills, and the Tennessee Titans sitting at 8-1-1, led by a huge group of great young players. They have RG3 as their quarterback, and they have Jamal Charles, a very dynamic halfback, leading the way there. I would not want to play the Titans. Now, of course, now that I've said that, we're going to play the Titans next week. Just watch. But let's quickly get our scouting done. I guess we're not progressing players this week, or I guess we can always do that if we want. I say we go ahead and we do it just manually. Usually it appears on the list. And here we go. We have 2,300 points to spend. The latest guy I've been kind of getting excited about, after Adantor and Odigizua were disappointing, Otis Stallworth with his overall number. Let's take a look. And it's a D. Only a D. Surprising that it's that low. We will leave the rest of these points for next week. In terms of defensive tackles, if we do have our heart set going to defensive tackle, the remaining guys we have not scouted, there's a big drop-off to Wendell Taylor and Claude DeVoe, who are both expected to go very late third round. Who knows, maybe one of those 2 guys is worth, holding out for. Depending, we can still scout them, but after that we'll have to figure out on today, with being Wednesday's video, we're going to have to check out on Friday who's available and what's what. Anyways, let's advance a week. I think we will start this week by checking out player progression. We'll also get to see who we play tomorrow on Thursday in episode number 34. Which will be nice. It's always nice to know who we're going to be playing and what their record is and kind of where they sit. I'm still excited about this. $62.6 million we got in the bank. Next year, our new stadium is going to cost us, I think, overall, I don't even know. I think it's something like $3.6 million a week. And with 17 weeks over the course of the season, you can do the quick math. It's going to cost us about that much. So it's nice to have a big surplus going into next season. And there we go. We're playing the Atlanta Falcons, so another NFC opponent. The Falcons are coming into the game 5-5-1, so a very average season from them, but still not a team to be taken lightly. It sounds like, anyways. Improved roster, and nope, that's not what we want. Progress players. Maybe we can't do. Upgrade players. Here we go. Upgrade players and team goals. Spend experience to unlock new upgrades. This should be progress players. Yes, so we're just doing this manually. So here we go. Today is defensive line day. Vince Wilfork, almost 2,000 experience points. 20,000, not 2,000. 2,000 would not get you very much. 20,000 gets you a lot to spend today. Let's take a look here what we can give him. We can buy some really expensive things here. I don't see the need to upgrade anything that's 94 or higher. There's got to be things below here that are and wow, look at all these things that are enabled. Wow, he's an overall great player. We all know that. Maybe what we could do is just even give him 2 points of stamina extra if we could afford 2 extra ones. He is somebody who obviously needs the stamina. He's a bigger guy, and he's not super young. Vince Wilfork was drafted back in 2004, so I think he's 31. So there we go. Oh, no, not agility. We want stamina. We can just barely afford a second one. So he goes from 86 to 88 stamina. That could make a difference late in the season if we're playing in the playoffs. Late, and seeing what's going down, it would be great to know that hopefully Vince Wilfork is able to keep his motor running regardless of how tired he is. Now, Casey Hampton, our team elder, so to speak, he has been someone who we've just been pumping up with stamina, and I think we should do the same thing. Just 76. We have gone sometimes in late game scenarios to defensive ends only. It's a little adjustment you can make on your defensive line and obvious passing situations to send out 4 defensive ends instead of 2 defensive ends and 2 defensive tackles, or 1 defensive tackle depending on the situation. And that is something I think we will continue to do more and more of with Hampton being older, not the greatest pass rusher, but a run stopper. Meanwhile, Frank Oakham is definitely somebody who I hate to say this because it sounds so mean, but probably somebody who is not going to be back with the team next year. We're just going to give him things that he needs to play short yardage, which is power moves and tackling upgrade. He's somebody who really only plays in short yardage scenarios, and so we feed him those experience areas and reap the benefits from that. Going on, Ishmaeli Kitchen sitting at just 72. He's at least a bit younger than Frank Oakham. I guess one of these guys will probably stay with the team, but if we are going to draft a young defensive tackle to try and groom in Hampton's spot, one of these guys is probably going to have to leave the team. And we'll do the same thing that we did with Frank Oakham, power moves and tackling, because Kitchen does play on short yardage plays. Tackling will upgrade. His tackling is pretty good for a defensive tackle. He's already at 85. We'll get him up to 87 before we're done. And the young guy with potentially the league's best name. I don't think I've come across a name in the NFL yet that I like more than Ishmaeli Kitchen. Anyways, Rob Ninkovich, the speed rusher, 29 years old. He's had a great year so far. We're going to give him... Let's take a look at what he's got. Tackling is already so good. His stamina is pretty good. Agility, clutch trait is not enabled. It might be nice to make him clutch. Who knows? Speed upgrade would be nice. Get him up to 75. Heck, what do we want to give him? Play recognition for defensive ends is always important, but it's pretty good. Maybe let's look at getting him block shedding. Let's just spend a bunch of points on block shedding. Get him up to basically as high as we can. He was at 81 to start. I'm surprised at how cheap these upgrades are coming for a guy who's already 29. We could probably get him up to 90 at this rate. Oh no, that's too ambitious. In 88 maybe, but that would be excellent. One of a defensive lineman's biggest assets is their ability to get off of their blocker. And there we go. We get up to 88. We spend all his points on that. But a big thing, I mean, when he sees a running back take the ball or when he's trying to fight through an offensive tackle to get to the quarterback, that's going to help him. Thaddeus Gibson, meanwhile, the backup, came into this season with an overall rating of 78. I believe in real life Thaddeus Gibson is actually out of the league. He was drafted by Pittsburgh. But we're just going to do the same thing that we did with our backup defensive tackles across the board. Give him some tackling love and give him some power moves love once we are done, just to make him somebody who can come into those late game situations like we were talking about with Hampton potentially sitting out, bring in those extra defensive ends with their speed and with their ability to break shed blocks. We'll give him some block shedding as well. and get to the quarterback as fast as possible. So here we are. He was at about a 68, I think, when we started. He's already up to 72, and we're going to be able to upgrade this quite far, actually. Maybe even get him up to like a 78 or so. Block shedding. These upgrades for him are very cheap. So 500 points now. We'll get him up to a 77. We will be able to get him up to a 78, just barely. So 78 and Thaddeus Gibson is done. And now we're on to our right ends. Bruce Irvin needs a lot of love. He's somebody who we drafted with really high hopes for what he'd be able to do this year. The reality is so far this year he has just 1 sack. Granted, he's only 25, and he is already 91 overall, but there are some flaws in his game that he needs to improve. His block shedding is not very good. His awareness we've upgraded. It's not bad. His tackling is improved. It's not bad. His consistency level, though, is terrible. I say we move him up 1 to that. We could afford to get him to a 2 right now. His power moves are excellent. His speed is excellent. All that stuff's enabled. That's good. His hit power is good. His development is very good already. It's already quick. It could be a superstar. Speed, there you go, is 90. Acceleration is wonderful. I think consistency is what we spend on, and then the next time we come back to him, we look at block shedding all the way. We could even give him a couple upgrades at block shedding right now. Get him from a 72 to about a 74. We should be able to do... Actually, we can get him up to a 75. There we go. Spend down. He has 32 points left. Just literally spend everything. And then our last guy will be the backup at our right end spot. That is, of course, Jason Hunter, the 30-year-old. He's a very balanced player, and we're just going to do what we've done with everybody seemingly is upgrade his block shedding and his tackling for those late game situations where Hunter might come in for somebody like a Casey Hampton, for instance. We go all defensive ends across the board, and in late game situations where the opposite team is just going to be chucking it up there and the quarterback wants a bunch of time, we can send in all of our defensive ends instead of a line of defensive 2 tackles, 2 ends. Basically just check in all of our ends and watch them hopefully make a nice play getting to the quarterback. And there we go, Jason Hunter. So tackling and block shedding, just making him more of a beast for those scenarios. And there we go. Player progression is done. We had to do it manually today, but that's no problem. We'll come back on Friday in episode number 35, and we will be able to do that with our linebackers. So now we've done our defensive linemen. Be our linebackers next. So here we go. We got practice, and we're going to do what we did last episode, in episode number 32, yesterday on Tuesday. We are going to go third quarter tie. We're going with a longer practice scenario because there was no game today. Today, episode number 33 is would have normally been a game day, but of course, the bye week prevented us from playing, and so we will enjoy a longer practice session today, just to fill your guys' wants and desires for some gameplay, some live gameplay, and then tomorrow we will of course get back on the horse playing the Atlanta Falcons of the NFC South, the 5-5-1 Falcons. It'll be interesting to see who their team is. I know Matt Ryan is playing for the Browns in this little fantasy draft, so it'll be interesting to see who makes up their team and who the kind of the face of that franchise is. Anyways, as we did last time, we were going to start off by just quickly fixing our depth chart. We're going to put in Ronnie Brown in his normal running back spot, and we are going to do the same thing with Deshaun Jackson, putting him in his slot spot. That's fun to say, slot spot. And then start off on offense because for some reason we get the ball, but we don't get it on first down. We get it on second down, which is weird. But it's okay. And oh my goodness, we immediately throw an interception. Marcus Gilbert with the tackle at the 9-yard line. I did a tutorial on that in I think the 3rd video of this series on how to run the slant route effectively and not throw an interception, and I completely fell victim to one of the most frequent things that people fall victim to in running the slant, which is not seeing the linebacker stay in zone, and the linebacker didn't even have to move to make that pick. I just missed him. I just saw Doug Baldwin own his corner, make his little move, and unfortunately, the ball's picked off. So not a great place to start. We were successful in yesterday's practice session, episode number 32. We don't, so it's not, the pressure's not on like crazy to be successful today, but obviously you always want to succeed in practice to get all of your players an extra 1,000 development points. We are going to two-man under, so we got Kirkpatrick in the nickel, Bostic in man coverage on the running back. Third and goal from the 5-yard line. The last chance at the end. The wide receiver comes streaking in. He beats Dominic Rogers-Cromartie for the touchdown. And so the practice team here capitalizes on the miscues of Aaron Rodgers coming out, putting together a little 3-play drive from the 10-yard line and for the touchdown. Just like that, we are down by 7. 3:47 left in the third quarter here of this practice scenario. And here is Dominic Hickson. Jacoby Ford, I think, is still hurt. And Hickson not able to get the corner. Nice little move there. Ford was hurt in last game. We'll get you an update early next video of his status. I'm hoping that he's back soon. Ford has been so good for us in the return game. And we're going to play it safe and sound here. We are going to put a run here just outside, and there you go. Ronnie Brown gets off tackle for 5 yards. So start off a little more simple here on this second drive, putting the ball on the ground to start. We're going in the air here, but we will look to one of the safe options, either Kuhn coming out of the backfield, or here we are, Miller over the middle, and Miller makes a nice catch, tackled at the 40-yard line, but not before he gains 12 yards and gains a first down. First down, Bills. And we'll go back to the ground here. Brown is just going to pound it down, I formation, hopefully grab anywhere between 4 and 10 yards. And there goes Brown. Works his way around the block from Kuhn well, and he picks up 6 down to the 46-yard line of the Bills, approaching midfield. And we're just out of spite going to go to the slant route here. I'm so peeved that I buggered up that first slant so badly. And we're going to get flushed. Fortunately, Manningham's going to come open. Can he keep his feet in bounds? He does. 19 yards up the right sideline, up to the 34-yard line. And we are now in field goal range for Greg the Leg. We'll go with the slip screen here. We'll obviously keep an eye downfield to see if anybody comes wide open. If not, we're just going with the... I apologize there, folks. I hit R1. We do call that screen in a different formation sometimes where the screen option is R1. Unfortunately, I hit it here where it was completely inappropriate, and Aaron Rodgers paid the price, taking a sack for my mess up. Jeez. And that causes us to lose 10 yards. So now 2nd and 20 from the 45-yard line. Heath Miller makes the catch, and he gets some nice room up the sideline, 9 yards. So that puts us almost back at the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 11 here. We'll stay in the shotgun, and we'll have to find something that will get us over the first down marker at the 25, just beyond the 25-yard line, around the 24-yard line. Play action here. And Deshaun Jackson, and he's just open, but it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And so we're going to have to kick a field goal here, folks. The right end of the defense just got his big old paw up there, knocked the ball away, and Greg the Leg has to come in. It's up, and that'll be good. 53-yarder for Greg the Leg. We're still down by 4, though, 21-17. The practice team is up on us. This is the perfect time to quickly talk about the contest that we're having here on the Tuxedo T-shirt channel. We've extended the deadline, in case you didn't watch, episode number 32 to episode number 38. So in exactly a week today, on Wednesday of next week, we are going to announce the winner of the contest. The contest, what is the contest, you ask? The contest is very simple. All you have to do is comment on any video between episode number 28 and episode number 37. With an entry for what you think the name of the opposing team in practice should be. And there's Rob Ninkovich. What a great play there with a sack. 2nd and 17 for the practice team. Now, that practice team that I just referred to, otherwise known as the colorless team, the fake Bills, the practice whatevers, They are that team, the one that is in the white jerseys with the black helmets. Whatever you think I should call that team from now on, whatever that is, if it's funny, if it's whatever that is, write it in any of those videos in the comment section. I watch them all. I keep the updates. And I think my game just froze. It did this last episode as well, which is weird. It's never happened before. But again, my PS3 is really ghetto. And so the fourth quarter starting, and the game is frozen. And here we go. It's back. Perfect. But anyways, as I was saying, just leave a comment for what you think I should call this team forever and ever. And amen. And that's what I will do. And the reward of the contest is I will say your username in one of my videos. So if your username is FlyGuy207, I will be like, and this was the name that FlyGuy207, one of my loyal and happy loving viewers, put together, and this is his thing, and that's what I'll do. And I'll do that just for you guys, because it's the contest, and that's how you win the contest, and I want you guys to enjoy the contest and like my video, my channel, and all that. So that's the contest. So enter it, or you are a bad person, completely and wholly. I'm not going to judge you in any other way than your ability to enter this contest. So if you don't do it, you're just a terrible human being. So our defense has one of its best series ever. 2 sacks back-to-back on first and second down, courtesy of first Ninkovich and then Jason Whirls. And then on third down, we stopped the draw play for a loss of 2 yards. So every single play on that drive, the offense actually lost yardage. They were back at 4th and 21 by the end of that, and the result is a nice return from Sproles on the punt, setting us up at the 38-yard line, where we have now converted that first down, bought us a new set of downs. 26-yard line we are on now at this point. And there's and it's picked off by the safety. Mario Manningham came wide open. Looked like he might have been interfered with. I know that's such a BS-y thing to say. I feel dirty even just saying it. Trying to blame it on a penalty. I hate it when people do that. Oh, it's just a penalty, man. I've never made a mistake in my life. It's just a stupid ref. But it did look like we came open here. And you know what? I just wasn't able to undercut it. That's on me. That was clean. I thought I could undercut it with Manningham, and I couldn't. And so it'll be first down. Practice team at the 15-yard line. They're deep in their own end, but they do have the lead and they have the ball, which sucks. I can't believe I threw 2 picks in one practice session. Unbelievable. It's like throwing two picks in a game. When was the last time somebody did that? Oh, yeah, I did that last game. Frick! Jesus! It sucks. Anyways. Anger management, Tuxedo t-shirt, anger management. Bostic stops the receiver there for essentially no gain. So he'll be back in on coverage on the tight end. The opposing team here, I think they're going to hand it off to the left side. That's just me with my Madden intuition. Of course, they don't do it now that I've said that. And they throw an incomplete pass. So 3rd and 10 coming up. The clock stopped at 2:29. The practice team still stuck in their own end on the 16-yard line. So hopefully we can just force the practice team into an incompletion here or something of that nature, and they will have to punt the ball right back to us, so no harm done by the interception. And the quarterback takes another sack, the second sack of this practice session by Rob Ninkovich. Rob Ninkovich is touching your never mind. And that'll bring on the 2-minute warning. So for the second time today, the punter of the practice team is going to be punting from inside his own goal line in his own end zone. 2 minutes left. The ball is on the line of scrimmage at the 8-yard line, and Darren Sproles will have some room to return this punt. He catches it, and he's going to come out to the left side here. He's going to try and just get the corner, and he gets up, and he does get the corner out at the 21-yard line. So we actually, with the interception, it sucks to have the interception, but we actually gain yardage on the transfer of stopping the opposing offense and then the punt. We actually gained about 15 yards, which is beautiful. Ronnie Brown up on the left side for a gain of 6. We're just going to smash this football up the practice team's mouths here. Just ram it down their throats. Physical football. Here we go. We'll go off the right side here, and Brown's going to bounce it back inside, and he is stopped for a gain of 3, but that sets up 3rd and 1. You guys know what we're doing on 3rd and 1. 1:25 left in the game. Goal line formation. We're going to flip-flop Brandon Jacobs in for Ronnie Brown, and Jacobs is just going to do what he does best. It says 3rd and 1. This is interesting. It says 3rd and 1. But really, this looks like 3rd and inches to me. And Jacobs is up for a gain of 4 yards, up to the 7-yard line. And with a minute exactly left in the game, oopsies, this is not what I wanted. We'll call a timeout here. I accidentally selected the Madden, the Madden suggested play. We're just going to ram it up the gut here, at least once, if not twice, to set up 3rd and short. It's 1st and goal. Jacobs gets the ball. He's contacted at the 4-yard line, and he's tackled there. So 2nd and goal from the 4 now. We're going to do that again. Why take the chance of putting the ball in the air? Aaron Rodgers has been prone to throwing a few interceptions recently. So Jacobs goes up and over, and he's down to the 1-yard line. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to call the next play with about, I think, 15 seconds left. If we're not in, we will call a timeout. If we're not, or if we do get in, obviously we'll have to do a squib kick, but we will hopefully have the lead. So here we go. 15 seconds left. Jacobs goes up, and he's in. So 3 cracks from 7 yards out is all it takes. Jacobs into the end zone with about 13 seconds left, 14 seconds left in the practice scenario. Greg the leg in to put it up, and it's good. And so we now have a 3-point advantage over the practice team, up 24-21. We will squib this kick up the middle of the field, forcing this practice team into a return. And there's Dan Connor, who actually got trucked, did not make the tackle. And so, interesting here. So 11 seconds. The opposing team still has all of their timeouts. So there might actually be time. They got the ball at the 45. They got a sweet location for that ball to come and land on that last play. So who knows? Maybe this game isn't done yet. Probably 2 plays is what this team will get. And Bostic gets beat there. So 6 seconds left on the 40-yard line. This would be a 57-yard field goal. It's a long field goal, but it is makeable. So we'll go in the dime here again. Bostic is going to be on man coverage here, in man coverage on the running back. And, well, hold on your hats, folks. If this is a completed pass, and Sanford is back in the end zone, and with 1 second left, still 1 second. It's got to be 1 second. There's going to be... And this is okay. So fortunately, they're not going to go for the obscenely long field goal, which is makeable. I'm sure Greg the Leg could make a 57-yarder. I think the record for the NFL all-time is still Jason Elam of the Denver Broncos with a 63-yard field goal. We're just going to go prevent, and in double coverage, Vontae Davis knocks the ball down, and that brings about the end of practice. 2,000 more points, so back-to-back practice videos, back-to-back successes. Not done the most pretty way, especially this video, but it doesn't matter if it's pretty. It matters if it counts. So there you go. We got double practice and double success. Join me next episode, in episode number 34 on Thursday, for our game against the Atlanta Falcons. See you tomorrow, folks. I'm Tuxedo T-shirt, and I'm out.